congratulations, guys, on the film.
Thank
And just
you.
generally great careers. Amazing. What drew you what drew you both to the film and your characters?
Well, I'm very grateful to Quinn that she brought this to me and wanted me to be involved on a deeper level, like to produce it with her and to be her partner in this, which I very much felt we were. Um, in every kind of, in the beginning, in the during, and then the after, it's been very like we've had each other's backs in that way, which has been cool. And the story, there just felt like it just felt topical and important, and discussing a lot of things that I found myself talking about in my own personal life. And the character, I found a theme that I really like to play: scammers. So I think this is my last scammer for a minute. It's my like
Okay.
fifth scammer. I don't know what that is. It's probably like a subconscious reaction to not wanting to play like one-dimensional female characters and male-driven blank. But I loved playing her, and I'm very grateful. Dylan.
And you made her likable, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I thought so. I completely agree. Um,
Yeah.
you make it easy to sympathize with like how she ended up here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an amazing performance by you, Zoe. It's crazy. I remember I was like peppering you with texts while I was like watching the movie for the first time. But I don't think I ever even said it to you in person or on the phone. We got on the phone. Um, uh, yeah. Let's get to different questions because I'll just ramble about the same stuff. Like, love
Okay.
Zoe,
Well,
super talented, love the character, love the whole thing. That's why I would do it.
well, TikTok was obsessed with your look for the film, Dylan. Did you enjoy undergoing that transformation with the blonde hair and the tats and everything?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. It was so much fun. It was exactly sort of like how I wanted to come in and and build the character. So it was cool to like be allowed to do that and then also have it all done for me too. And it just makes it really easy to, to then sort of buy myself as that guy too. It's hugely helpful.
And I don't know if you guys are allowed to say, but did you take any inspiration from any celebrities or influencers and things?
I think for Danny's wardrobe, Quinn and I found the hair and the nails from just being on TikTok all the time, and we stole those from just a bunch of accounts. And then clothing wise, TikTok and like Devin Lee Carlson, Bella Hadid, like that vibe. And obviously this was shot a year ago, so like it's a drastically different trend than it is now, but it's supposed to be like a moment in time, right?
And like the film shows quite a dark side of social media. Zoe, what's your relationship like with social media? Because I know that you're quite active on Instagram.
Look, I think it's a tool. It can be used for good or evil. I certainly I love one of my favorite things in the world is to take photos. Always has been. I've always shot film. I've always really loved it. It's been a really satisfying creative outlet for me, and a gift to give to people that I love. Like I love to take pictures of my friends and give it to them, and they love them. That makes me feel really good to be able to show people how I see them. Which is like beautiful and interesting and cinematic, and I think that's really fun for me. And I get to use Instagram as like I can sometimes put my photographs on there, so that's cool. But it also is a horrible dark hellhole of pain and suffering.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Right?
Dylan, you kind of got your start on YouTube. How has your relationship with social media evolved? Because you're on Twitter, but is that your only
Right.
platform?
It is. I still technically have my YouTube channel, I think, but I mean, like, the whole thing has changed so much, like when I had my videos on YouTube, like I had like 500 subscribers, and it's not like, that's what changed my life. I, in a very lucky way, had someone, just show like a manager one of them one time, and then that became like, my way in or to have the opportunity opportunity to go on like auditions. But it's actually so crazy to think about how dated those things even seem like now. Like it's just all gone so fast. It's all changed so quickly. Like first generation YouTube just seems, it seems so crazy that I was literally like 14 years old when someone first was just like, have you heard of YouTube? And I like literally uttered the words like, what's YouTube? And then like being like, whoa, how cool. Like a content sharing platform, you know,
Yeah.
which became, you know, our lives like really not soon. It's like really not that long after the birth of it. So yeah, it's really interesting. My relationship to it has always been, you know, I think it's really cool. I think again, it's like it's so similar to what Zoe said. Obviously, I think all of these things can be like really, really amazing tools, and in general, it's like a good thing. Obviously, like negative things can come out of them as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always thought like it was really cool when there was a place that I saw where you could like share your like little videos that you made with your friends or your like cousins or like my sister or my dad or whatever, like, and have people like see it, you know. I thought
Yeah.
was just so cool. And I'm just watching like things that other people are creating. It's like such a cool sort of like, you know, cycle of like inspiration going on. You know, I remember like watching Bo Burnham like do the same exact thing, like in his room in Massachusetts, you know, stacking up his camera on books when he was 16 years old. And I was like a 15-year-old sophomore in high school, just being like, wow, this guy is like so mind-blowingly like inspiring. I'm obsessed with it. You know what I mean? It's so that
Yeah.
aspect of it, I think, is where it originated for me. And I still think at the core is like a really cool piece of it.
And do you ever get used to, because on TikTok there are lots of thirsty videos and comments and things, do you ever get used to that? Is that why you maybe aren't on TikTok?
Used to it? How?
I don't know. I don't know if you can ever get used to people making like these videos about you.
What are they?
Um,
Go.
just lots of like quick cuts of just you looking good.
Mm. It's funny because I don't think I could do a thirst trap if I fucking tried. You know what I mean? Like I can't
Maybe
do
Colin
it.
could.
Ace.
You guys were all over TikTok in the, you know, process of making the film. Is it cool to have an inbuilt audience already?
I mean, that was the sort of Quinn and I early on wanted to experiment. It was an experiment, honestly. And we were really grateful that Searchlight supported us and sort of let us go this route because it's very unconventional. You know, the protocol while shooting a movie is generally like no social media because you don't want to reveal any plot points, outfits, anything. Like, you want to just keep everything tight-lipped until like first look picture. And it, you know, there's a very traditional trajectory that movies go. And because this movie was about a lot about social media and and about you know, we were curious if we did this sort of metaverse thing of showing the making of and the character and give people seeds of this story, would it work and would people be interested? And they were. And it was what was one of the things that was very interesting too is how interested people were without actually knowing what it's about too.
Yeah.
And so it was an experiment that went well, and I
Succeeded.
think, and again, I was very grateful to Searchlight for having our backs, and letting us do that.
It's a really cool idea. Like when you first told me about that idea, Zoe, like I remember just being like, oh, that's like the meta aspect of like promoting the film in ways that are literally thematically like exactly what the movie's about, you know, using that tool and displaying how powerful it can be. And did you end up actually like using real responses and comments like in the movie, like from our initial like drops?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we did for like the trailers and stuff. Like we used people's real
okay.
comments for like, you
Got
know,
it.
like when are we getting the trailer? When we get the trailer, you know, that stuff. I remember being like, let's use all the actual real comments and like use the amount of like followers we have and likes. We have 10 million likes and we have 300,000 followers. You know, like let's use that stuff as But yeah, the TikTok thing. I mean, no one could have ever predicted what happened with Dylan's TikTok, with his hair TikTok.
I know.
That literally, it was hilarious. I can't believe
No.
how many people watched that.
And the
A lot of
movie is
people reposted it too.
that's I think it's just going to be, you know, I think people are going to be really surprised at like what the movie
Is about.
or like actually is about versus what's sort of been like out there about it.